Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to our episode of Journey of Conscious Conception. And today we are at day 8. So, because of some technical glitch, I have to record this episode again. And so, today we are talking about how fear, expectations, and pressure they impact conception. Now, these negative emotions are a very common part and parcel of this conception journey. Now, what happens is whenever I see journeys of conception with couples, majority of the times when till the time they have not decided to be pregnant, obviously the stress will not set in, but the moment they decide that yes, now we are ready to have baby, and then at the same time what happens is every cycle they start getting this question, oh, why it's not happening, where is the problem, where am I doing wrong, is there a major issue? So all these negative questions and the loop of overthinking, it starts. Also, when we are seeing so much pressure from the family, from the society, and of course there are their own timelines that that a common question like, oh, when are you giving us a good news, can also seem as a lot of mental pressure. And this is a very common scenario that I come across with my patients and whoever I have seen the conception journeys. Now, why we are talking about this? Because in this our conscious conception movement, we are working on certain factors which are beyond medicines, and those factors, they are in your mindset, they are in your mind, body, soul, basically harmony. So how to maintain that harmony, how to maintain that alignment, and for which, as we understand, I always keep talking about mind, body, soul, how they are connected, and how the thoughts are affecting the chemicals in our brain, hormones which are released from the brain, and the functions of the organs. That is very well known, proven. And so, as I was talking about a very common question, which doesn't remain just a question, that when you are giving us a good news, but it becomes a fear, maybe it becomes a expectation, and it becomes that pressure inside the mind. And what is happening is, as I am telling about this connection of the mind and the body, whatever negative thought loops or overthinking loops are getting created in our mind, hormonally they are affecting our organs, especially reproductive organs, and showing its impact on the ability of conception as well as the further journey. Now, giving a parallel example of the creation or nurturing is about flowers. When we see beautiful flowers, we see that those flowers will bloom on a fertile, soft soil. It's very difficult for the flowers to bloom on hard and cracked soil. It is same as that of the conception. This conception is nothing but, when we talk about actual scientific process, that is implantation, which is nothing but inviting new life inside your womb. And this is the soul connection, and that will not be possible when it is full of fear or full of negative emotions or pressures or expectation. Only when it is in the receiving mode, that means it is in that calmness, it is having the love, then only there is openness that will be seen in these organs, especially the womb, and the pregnancy journey is like possible, and rather it will be very smooth. So, the first and foremost, even before medications, what is important is working on those negative emotions which are getting generated in your brain. And very first step of this is about awareness of these emotions. Because when why we call them as negative emotions, because they are creating certain change in your mind, your feelings, as well as in your body. So you will start feeling low, you will feel like crying, or you will feel some irritation, or maybe you will get some anger. So these are certain feelings which are not pleasant. That's why they are like negative emotions. At the same time, because of the hormones which are getting generated because of these feelings, what happens is that even your body starts showing up, like maybe your heartbeat is racing, maybe you feel jittery movements in your muscle, or maybe you will feel like sweating, your head starts becoming hot, and you feel like some then you might talk irrelevant, which is like you, instead of response, you will be reacting to the situation. So there are many things which repercussions we are seeing in our mind as well as in our body. So all these are non present, and that's why they are like negative emotions. Once we have that awareness, now how it is affecting, so once we accept, then only we will be able to release. But what is the actual impact that I am telling? When it is that fear, so what is it creating? So it is creating that pressure, and because of this constant overthinking, your cortisols, adrenalines, noradrenalines, which are invoking sympathetic nervous system response in your body. Now, this sympathetic nervous system response is nothing but fight, flight, or freeze mode. Now, because of the chemicals which are getting generated, even the other organs will be showing up the impact. Like in the reproductive organ, there will be hormonal imbalances, there will be unovulations. Especially, it is said that womb stores these memories. Womb will respond to this fear, and it will store that fear for longer time, and it is not at all will be open to receive your embryos, and there will be problems with the implantation. So there are so many things which are interrelated. Also, whenever there are a lot of expectations, what happens is that all this process of conception, which is a beautiful natural physiological process, which becomes a totally mechanical process. There becomes a checklist of the ovulation kit, the sonographies, multiple hospital visits, and it becomes just that in particular time you need to try, and there can be sometimes performance anxieties and many other problems that couple they face, and because of which there is no bond, but it creates that irritation, and there is already a fear and negativity, and obviously body is so much tensed, and it is not at all a good environment for something new to start, and that's why the conceptions would struggle. So at the same time, it is very important to understand that the womb, which is a sacred place, and it is nothing but the energy house, and it is like it is storing the memories of what you think. So whenever you are shifting your negative emotions to the positive ones, and you are managing your emotions well, what is happening is this womb, it will show openness, and definitely the pressure when it is released, so when you are responding out of love, it is welcoming for the baby. Pressure is never welcoming. This is very important to understand, and it is not at all dependent on the society, not at all dependent on the circumstances or people around you. Believe me, it is totally dependent on you, because it is in your hand how to control your thoughts. It's in your hand how to convert or pivot your negative emotions or thoughts to the positive ones. So that's why that remote control is with you only. Only thing, you need to be aware about it, you need to utilize it at a perfect time, and for that, awareness is the first key, and acceptance of your emotions, and then releasing them. Now, as on this in this journey, which is a very long journey, Obviously, it is overwhelming most of the time. So I would not say that challenging situations would not at all come, or you should be very strong enough, you should feel always positive, which is practically not possible. Majority of the times the negative emotions would come up, but here we are to deal with them. Here we are to understand, acknowledge, and deal with them happily, positively. How? So there is one practical tool that I am going to share, which is about, which is pause. So pressure pause technique, rather not pause, pressure pause technique, where, so before that I would like to tell a story of one of my patients. Now I keep on seeing so many these couples who are struggling for this conception since long time. So there was one couple, and all their reports were almost normal, and they are pretty in third decade, so not so late as well. But what they used to feel is, because they were feeling a lot of pressure, so they used to tell me, "Oh, that doctor, it doesn't feel like, normal when we are, trying only on those particular days with the pressure, and it becomes so mechanical that we don't even feel like trying, but just for the name's sake we are doing this." And that is the alarming signal. Whenever patients are telling this, or whenever someone is sharing this, it is telling us that yes, the mindset is totally going towards the negative emotions, and it's really important to change it. So obviously, because we need this is, I always say to my patients that pregnancy is really very, what I can say, it's a sacred thing, and it's a happy journey, because we are creating new life. So when we are creating new life, if we are creating it from the place of the fear, or pressure, or negative emotions, definitely there would be struggles. And when something we create from the place of peace, from the place of clarity, from the place of love, definitely our those creations would thrive, and you will get really happy and healthy results out of it. And that's what, so when this couple, the story I was telling for them, which has become so mechanical, because every time there was a pressure, why it's not happening, this cycle again it is negative, when I would be able to, conceive. So that they were into that mood of, how and when, and it had become like a project with a deadline, and which is so difficult because deadline is not in your hand. So what has happened, that they use this technique, and this technique is, as I was telling, it's a very powerful technique, pressure pause practice, and which combines breathing with grounding technique, keeping intentions, as well as seeing, visualizing, future good outcome, and using affirmations, that is positive suggestions to your subconscious mind. So it combines so many small small techniques, and also certain NLP techniques, and it really gives a very good result. You can really try it, and of course I would like to see your comments in the comment box about how did you feel about this technique. So whether you are on this journey, whether you are conceived, whether you have not conceived, or you are taking certain treatments, or you are already pregnant and still you keep feeling those fear of how it will go, please use this technique, and you will definitely see the result in your mindset, and as well as ultimately in your body, because as I keep on saying, mind and body are well connected. So in this technique, what we do is, first and foremost, we start this technique with closing your eyes, so that we are calming our mind. And when we close our eyes and we go into silence, it's very, very important to feel that silence, because closing our eyes is inducing alpha waves, which are calm waves in our mind, which are really very important. Now, what is the next step? Is grounding. That means settling down in the present moment. That is like with the breathing technique. So the basic breathing technique is a slow breathing and something called as a box breathing. So there are two types of it. First, we start with deep inhale, then we pause for a moment and slowly exhale. So inhale can be with the mouth, with the nose, and slow exhale can be with mouth. Or it can be deep inhale, small pause, then slow exhale, then again a pause, and then we start inhale like this. Now, what happens is this breathing is actually bridge towards your mind. So, whenever you are deeply breathing with the pause in between, you are inducing parasympathetic nervous system, which is reducing your cortisol levels in your brain, and it is helping to again reduce your heartbeat, reduce that anxiety, and again your thoughts which are racing in your mind, they will also slow down. So that is the importance of this breathing technique. So we have done this grounding into the present moment, and now what we do is one hand will be on heart and one hand will be on womb, and we have closed our eyes, and we are keeping intention, visualizing all positivity, good outcome, as if healthy baby is inside the womb, and we are saying these affirmations 3 times, 5 times, 7 times, or till the time you feel completely relaxed in your mind. I release pressure. I welcome peace. I release pressure. I welcome peace. I release pressure. I welcome peace. So, all the affirmations, that is positive self talk or positive suggestions to our subconscious mind, are always, they are starting with I, and they are in the present tense. And now you just do this technique every single day, or whenever you feel any anxiety or any negativity or uncertainty about the outcome. And definitely with this, you will realize that body will soften down, and you will feel that, calmness. So there is a shift in the mind also, from the pressure to peace, and then your body, or womb rather, is going into that openness and receiving and welcoming zone, and definitely it would help to give you better outcome. Even if you are not conceived, it will help for the womb, implantations, as well as even if you are conceived, the chances of getting into healthier outcomes are more when you are working on these techniques. And really, I would request everyone to try this, and let me know how do you feel after that. And obviously, conception is not about, trying harder. It is about just trusting the process and feel those positive feelings and go deeper into it. And that's what we are going deeper into this concept of conscious conception. So in our next episode, we are going to see like how to make this shift of trying to trusting, and that is again going to be one more interesting episode. Till that time, you can check our group link in this description, where we are doing so many activities, and you can check the book link as well. Grab your copy of the book, you will definitely enjoy it. And I wish all of you, your happy and healthy journey of this conscious conception movement. Bye bye.